Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into something I've been seeing a lot of buzz about online.
Oh, yeah. What's caught your eye?
It's this new AI tool, OmniParser. Have you heard about it?
Oh, I have. It's pretty amazing what it can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It can pull info from any kind of digital document.
Right. Like PDFs, images, even those messy websites we all run into.
Exactly. And from what I understand, it doesn't just read the data. It actually understands it,
hmm
which is pretty mind-blowing when you
What?
think about it.
Yeah, it's like having this super smart assistant. It can go through mountains of data and just find what you need, whatever format it's in.
Okay, so I'm definitely intrigued, but how does it actually work? Is there like magic involved?
Well, not magic, but it is pretty sophisticated. It combines a bunch of different AI models.
There's more like a team of specialists all working together.
Exactly. Like one model focuses on finding objects in images, charts, tables, that kind of thing.
Okay, and then another model figures out what those objects actually mean.
You got it. Like, is this a sales figure or customer data or something else?
And then there's another one that focuses on text, right?
Okay.
Reading and understanding it.
That's right. And the really cool part is that it's all open source. So you've got developers all over the world constantly improving it.
That's really cool. So it's a real community effort.
Totally. And that's one of the things that makes it so powerful.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. How can people actually use this? What are some real-world applications?
Oh, there are tons. Imagine you're a business analyst and you're trying to figure out market trends. You've got reports coming in from all over the place, different formats, you name it. OmniParser can just pull out the key data points no matter where they are.
So no more spending hours trying to make sense of a jumbled mess of data. That sounds like a dream come true.
It really is. And for lawyers, too. Think of all the time they spend going through contracts and legal documents. OmniParser can automate a lot of that.
Right. Find specific clauses, precedents, things like that.
Exactly. And it could even be a game changer for researchers, too. Historians working with old manuscripts, scientists sifting through tons of research papers.
Wow, the possibilities are really kind of endless.
They are. And that's what makes OmniParser so exciting.
It is. But let's be realistic for a second. How accurate is it, really? Can we trust it to get things right, especially with complex information?
That's a great question and a valid concern with any AI. But the good news is it's constantly being refined and improved by the open source community. Developers are always working on better training data sets.
So it's like a continuous learning process. The more it's used, the better it gets.
Exactly. And anyone can contribute. So the accuracy just keeps getting better and better, and everyone benefits.
I like that a lot. Okay, so before we jump into the more technical stuff, I got to ask about privacy.
Of course.
If this tool's looking at all my data, how can I be sure my information is safe?
Privacy is a huge priority, and OmniParser is designed with that in mind. You can actually run it locally right on your own computer, so your data doesn't have to go anywhere.
Okay, so it sounds like it strikes a really good balance between features and keeping data safe.
It really does, and that's what makes it such an exciting development in the AI world.
All right, so I'm ready to dive a little deeper. Let's talk about some of the technical details. How does OmniParser actually pull off all this versatility?
Well, one of the keys is how it integrates with other tools and systems. That's where things get really interesting. Yeah, so it's not like a one-trick pony. It really is designed to work with other things you might already be using.
So it's like built to fit into your existing workflow. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. For developers, there are these APIs and libraries. They can actually build OmniParser right into their own apps.
Okay, I'm following. So like, say, a customer support system that can pull info from emails automatically.
Yeah, or think of a research platform pulling data from all these scientific papers, no manual effort needed.
Wow, that's super powerful. So much you could automate.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just limited to working with other programs. It plays nice with other AI tools, too.
Really? Like how?
We'll say you use OmniParser to grab data from a bunch of images. Then you could take that data and feed it to another AI for more in-depth analysis.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Or combine it with a natural language processing tool to figure out the sentiment and context of all that text it's pulling.
So it's like creating a custom AI pipeline just for your needs. Pretty impressive.
It really is. And again, a lot of this comes back to that open source thing we were talking about. Developers can tweak it, adapt it to all kinds of different applications.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear more about the community behind OmniParser. Who are these people building this thing?
It's really cool. They come from all over the world, all different backgrounds. You've got your software engineers, data scientists, researchers.
I bet there are some hobbyists in there too.
Oh, absolutely. And they all have this shared goal of making data more accessible for everyone.
I love that. It's inspiring to see people from everywhere coming together like that.
It is, and it's constantly growing, too. New people joining all the time brings in even more fresh perspectives.
That's so cool. Okay, so one of the features that really caught my eye was the automation aspect.
Hmm.
This sounds like a dream come true for anyone who hates repetitive tasks.
Right. That's where OmniParser really shines. Automating those data extraction workflows. Imagine you've got to pull the same info from hundreds of documents every week.
Don't remind me. I used to have to do something like that, and it was the worst.
Well, OmniParser can take care of all that. You can literally set up a process that does the whole thing for you.
No way. So I could just hit a button and let it run.
You got it. And you can even schedule it to run at specific times so you always have the latest info without having to even think about it.
Okay, that is seriously the kind of efficiency I need in my life.
Yeah, you can focus on the things that really matter. That's what automation's all about. Working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely. So let's talk about user experience for a second. Is OmniParser user-friendly? Can someone who doesn't know how to code use it?
Great question. Yeah, they kept that in mind. It's got all this power for developers, but there are also really user-friendly interfaces and tools. You don't have to write any code at all to use it.
So I don't need to be a tech whiz to benefit.
Nope, not at all. Anyone can use it, whether you're a total beginner or you've been working with data forever.
Perfect. Okay, before we move on, I want to circle back to accuracy and privacy. Those are biggies, especially as AI keeps becoming more a part of our everyday lives.
For sure. And it goes beyond just, having the right technical safeguards in place. It's also about that community, making sure they're being responsible.
Okay, so what does that look like in practice?
Well, the developers building OmniParser, they're committed to making sure it's ethical and trustworthy. They're constantly on the lookout for potential biases in the data, in the algorithms themselves.
That's reassuring. It's good to hear that they're thinking about those things.
Yeah, it's one of the great things about open source. Everything's out in the open. Transparency and accountability are baked in, so these conversations can happen naturally and collaboratively.
I like that a lot. It sounds like OmniParser is more than just a tool. It's really like a shining example of what can be achieved when you have great tech, a strong community, and a real commitment to doing things the right way.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm really excited about the impact tools like this can have.
Me too. It's inspiring to see how technology can empower us all.
It really is. And it's all thanks to those developers pushing boundaries, collaborating.
So for our listeners who are super intrigued and want to learn more, what would you suggest?
Definitely check out the OmniParser website. They've got tons of info there, documentation, tutorials, even links to the open source code itself. And join the community. They've got a really active online presence. You can connect with other users, ask questions. Heck, you can even contribute to the project if you want.
I love that. Sometimes the best way to learn something is just to dive in and play around with it.
Exactly. And with OmniParser being open source, the possibilities are endless.
Who knows, maybe one of our listeners will come up with the next killer app.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Okay, so it sounds like we've established that OmniParser is more than just a tool. It's a platform for innovation, collaboration, and hopefully positive change.
I think that sums it up perfectly.
All right, so we've covered a lot today. Technical details, real-world uses, ethical considerations.
It's been great talking about it.
Yeah, and for our listeners, I hope this deep dive has been as eye-opening for you as it has been for me. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI.
Oh, definitely. Tools like OmniParser are making it so much more accessible.
Absolutely. So stay curious, stay engaged, and let's see what we can do with the power of AI.
I love it.
Well, that's a wrap for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the tech, the community, but what about the everyday person? Why should they care about OmniParser?
That's a great question. It's easy to get lost in all the details, but at the end of the day, OmniParser is a tool that can really make your life easier.
I like the sound of that. But can you give me a concrete example? Let's say I'm not a programmer. How could OmniParser help me in my day-to-day life?
Sure. Imagine you're a student, right? You're working on a research paper, you've got articles and books and websites, all different formats.
Yeah, I remember those days. So much time spent just trying to organize everything.
Exactly. And that's where OmniParser comes in. Instead of reading through everything manually, you could use it to pull out all the key information. Facts, quotes, statistics. It can even grab stuff from scanned images, like old textbooks.
Wow, that would have been a game changer back in school.
Right. It organizes all that info for you so you can actually focus on the content. not just the formatting.
So it's like having a personal research assistant doing all the tedious work for you.
Pretty much. And it's not just for students. Think about small business owners trying to analyze their sales data, or anyone dealing with a mountain of financial documents. OmniParser can make all of that so much simpler.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. It's not just for techies. It's about giving everyone the tools they need to understand and use their own data.
Exactly. That's what really excites me about OmniParser. It's making this powerful technology accessible to everyone. It's democratizing AI.
It sounds like we're on the verge of a future where interacting with data is as easy as, I don't know, browsing the internet.
It really does feel that way. AI is becoming more and more seamlessly integrated into our lives, helping us make sense of the world around us.
And with this amazing open source community behind it, who knows what the future holds?
That's the best part. The possibilities are endless. And the future of OmniParser isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now by people from all walks of life.
So what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember about OmniParser?
It's more than just a tool. It's a movement, a testament to the power of collaboration, and the idea that technology should be for everyone. It's a reminder that we can all be active participants in shaping the future, not just passive consumers.
That's a great message. So for our listeners, if you're even a little bit curious about OmniParser, don't hesitate. Go check it out. See what it can do for you. You might be surprised.
And don't feel intimidated if you're not a tech expert. The open source community welcomes everyone. Share your ideas, contribute what you can. Let's build this future together.
Well said. It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of OmniParser with you. Thank you for sharing your insights and your enthusiasm.
It's been my pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time.